BBC is ripe as a channel, as a news organisation, and as a website. The website is ripe for me to take massive poos on it all the time, which I enjoy doing. If you have become familiar with what I do here, you will know that I do enjoy shitting all over the BBC. And full disclaimer, I did my work experience at the BBC many years ago, and my godmother was an executive at the BBC. Well, my godfather's wife. You know, but when you start saying things like that, it sounds, like you're begging it. Yeah. So, I met many a famous man at the BBC. Yeah. I worked on the lottery show. I was supposed to do work on Blue Peter, but I didn't turn up. I went off and did something else. Just being naughty. What else did I work on? I went in there. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I'm just saying, it breaks my heart, the shit on the BBC. But, like an ex-lover who has now revealed themselves to be an absolute twat, just take shits on them, So here, look at this. Pop music's growing gender gap revealed in the collaboration age. Now, it's just a gender gap, so it's not a wage gap or a pay gap. One's been debunked and one's the real thing. I can't remember which way around it is. But, that's not for me to tell you. I'm sure you've seen it. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. Okay? Not now. You're with me now. You can do it afterwards, okay? Plenty of time. You can have your sixth wank of the day later. All right, mate? So, what's this all about? Probably some shit that doesn't exist, I expect. 3 times as many male as female pop stars appeared on last year's biggest hit singles, BBC research has found. Okay. 91 men or all male groups were credited on the official chart company's top 100 most popular songs of 2018, compared with 30 female acts. Now, I can actually probably debunk this already. What they're trying to say. Take this in mind, right? So 91 men or all male groups were credited on the official chart company's top 100. Now, the charts ain't like the charts used to be, right? I'll keep that open a second. The charts ain't like the charts used to be. The charts used to be, you buy singles and shit. But now because of streaming and, all this kind of shit, like, you can get one album that will have all the songs on the top 40. Like didn't Ed Sheeran? I'm pretty sure. And didn't that album come out last year? Was that last year? I don't really like him or care about his career, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Was it last year? So these stats can be a bit funny because, like I said, you can get album tracks like just being streamed. Some people just like, there's many albums. I don't like the entire album. There's a few songs that I'll play over and over again. Loads of people do that. Some people do. There's not many great albums out there where you've got to play every track. I could fucking name them. Maybe I'll do that one day. Maybe I'll do a whole thing of me just naming stuff I love instead of just spewing hatred all over the place. Maybe I'll do something good for humanity. But I reckon I could debunk this already. So what is it? Official chart top 100 songs of 2018. Here we go. So official single chart. Here we go. The official charts company. Here it is. The thing this. Let's call them out by name. Ian Youngs. Right, Ian Youngs. Before we read on, let's have a look at what's going on. So look at this. Right, we've got it up here. So let's read on, and then we can have a look. Okay. So third, and despite the success of singers like Dua Lipa, I don't know if that's how you say it, Ariana Grande. So just thinking of Adriana from The Sopranos. I'm trying to think of good people. The gender gap has grown over the past decade. It's very generic. The gender gap. What the gap of success, the gap of money, the gap of likable. I mean, what is it? 13 of the most popular 100 songs of 2018 were credited only to female acts, down from 35 in 2008. Singer Mabel, who is currently in the top 10, said she wasn't surprised by the gender gap, telling BBC News, "No, I think we still have a lot of work to do." Hold on. Rita Ora and Bebe Rexha's manager Sarah Stennett said the gaps that exist is not acceptable. "I do not believe the consumer says I want to listen to more men than women. It's choice. It's the choice they're given." Right. Okay. Well, when did there have to be work to be done in the music industry for female artists? Like, it's been a pretty level playing field for fucking decades. Like, what? There's only like certain genres where like it's harder. There's probably less women that do it. Why? Because women are less aggressive, and that is rap and like hard rock. Rock music. From like heavy metal, death metal, horrorcore rap. You know what I'm saying? Cloud rap, whatever, whichever subgenre. You just don't find as many. That's why when you get a good one, a female one, they just push the female thing, blah 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 blah, like female rappers and female rock groups. Whether it was like L7 or fucking Hole. You know what I'm saying? But like other music genres, it's because of aggressive music. Girls just don't. Girls just aren't as aggressive. Well, they are. Well, actually, no. Girls are fucking aggressive, actually, but just in a different way. Girls always wanted to do silly dances in the playground, and boys wanted to be hard. That's just the way it is, isn't it? Like, so you want to be moping around or acting gangster or whatever it is. When you're a teenager, and girls are just silly, and then girls are like just follow trends, and you do. Sorry, girls are always following trends. Like all the girls in my year and the year below, like we'd be into stuff, and then they'd suddenly be into it. Like a few months later, when they realised it was a cool thing to do. They're fucking tag-alongs, man. A lot of girls are tag-alongs at school. You're tag-alongs. You just, you go out of a bloke, and then you suddenly are into everything that he's into. I've seen it. I went out with a girl like that. Before she went out with me, she was punk rock because she was with a dude that was punk rock. Got with me, then she tried to act a bit, because I was more into like gangster shit. So she tried a bit more gangster shit. And then after me, she went out with this dude who was a complete dweeb, and she ended up looking like fucking Harry Potter. She's a fucking tag-along, mate. She's just a chameleon, just morphed into whoever she was going with. There's loads of girls like that. You know what you do, ladies. Come on. It's how you stay a step ahead of the game. Come on. Fucking tag-alongs. But like, when has there been a gap? It's like, what? I don't get that. It does go on to say about hip-hop, which is male-dominated. Like, well, hip-hop's the biggest music on planet Earth. Like, what are you going to say next? Black men? There's more black men? Because it would be. There's more white. There's obviously a lot more white boys in hip hop now than there ever was. But then there's even more black people in hip hop because there's just so many people. Like even your postman's got a mixtape. You fucking put it. If you're not careful, you'll slip it in with your mail. You have this bullshit. 50 tracks of bullshit, mastered by his cousin. It's just blown out the speakers. Just. Bars. It would sound like that, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, who put this shit mixtape in with my?" Like, there's loads of people in the rap game. Fucking, there's even dead people in the rap game. There's ghosts. Rap's huge. There's ghosts. So, let's look at the official charts. Anyway, just to privacy policy. Oh, piss off. Just shoot yourself. Well, the number one was No, we wanted... No, I got the wrong bloody one. End of year singles chart 2018. Here we go. Right. Excuse you. One Kiss, Calvin Harris and Dua Lipa. I mean, that's a fifth. See what they've done here? Because they talk about collaborations. What does it say about collaborations? Collaborations has grown over that time from 59 men in 2008 to 91 in 2018, which means the gender gap has grown. What? So they're no, what are they going on about? There are no fewer women in the UK charts now than there were a decade ago. In 2008, 30 female acts were credited as best-selling 100 songs of the year. In 2018, the figure was still 30, but the number of men has risen by more than 50% as the number of collaborations has grown over that time. From 59 men in 2008, right? This is, see what I mean? This is stat manipulation at its finest. Jesus Christ! You always got to look out for these motherfuckers. I guarantee it. Oh God! You could put this the other way around. It's like, right. You could totally reframe this. This is such bullshit. It's like going, well, maybe men. Oh, why aren't we championing that men have done really well? Oh, because men are always doing really fucking well. Really? I don't know. How many great single dads do you know? Fucking hell, you know what I mean? There's many ways. How many men decided not to kill themselves? Do you know what I mean? This loads. It's just such bullshit. Why can't we just celebrate dudes doing well in music? Come on. It's much harder for men in music. They got no, you know, when your career's on the nosedive, you can't suddenly come out all sexy like the Jonas Brothers when they grow up, or Hanson. You know, they're little kids, and then when they get old, they just get, when you're, you know, especially when you're male, you just become awkward. Your face goes fucking weird. You know, you can be a cute little kid and grow up to be a fucking weirdo looking cunt, and you know, and your voice has gone weird. You know. And your little girly boy voice changes into a man voice, and everyone's like, oh, but what happened? And everyone's like, oh no, I don't like that no more. Oh no. I mean, look what happened to Justin Bieber when he cut his hair. He lost millions of followers on Twitter. Like, no, not having that. No, not having that. Like, it's fucking difficult. But girls have an option when they grow up. You know. You can go from, look at Miley Cyrus, for example, comes of age and just sluts it up and becomes huge. That's what they all do. Britney Spears did it. They all do it. Like, they just go, oh, I'm just going to take all my clothes off now and reinvent myself. Dudes can't do that. Didn't you know? You ain't seen Hanson coming out in fucking latex, arseless chaps twerking when their career went down the shitter because they grew up. You didn't see that, did you? No. So let's see how many collaborations. Let's tally up the collaborations. Right, first of all, so men and women. One. I don't know who settled. I don't know. One. That's two. 3. 4. 5. 6. Maybe 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12 maybe? 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18 maybe? 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'd say about 26 of them were collaborations between men and women, with men and women on it. And so, and like, look at the biggest one, like, no one, Calvin Harris with Dua Lipa, that's how you say her name. That's like, well, that's more her song than, you know, if it's a producer, you know, a lot of these producers ain't shit without a big name on it. You know, that's how David Guetta got big, isn't it? Do you think anyone like that sexy bitch song if it didn't have Akon's sexy ass on it? I don't think so. If it was some Frenchman, some filthy Frenchman instead, I don't fucking think so, Sonny Jim. You know. And how many of these have come out from, I mean, you talk about Drake, who kills it, you know, and how many are by the same artist as well, you know, consistently the same artists. Do you know what I'm saying? Because why is it that women collaborating with men, what's the, I don't see the point here that they're trying to make. What are they trying to say? Oh, I know what they're trying to say, but like, so no fewer than, alright, so the number of men has risen by more than 50%, but this is including collaborations of men and women. It's become more common for hit songs to be collaborations pop star A featuring pop star B. That means the total number of artists credited on songs at the end of the year top 100 list has risen over the past decade. You might not have expected the number of men and women to have risen equally, but no, only number of male acts has risen. It's because of rap. Look how many rappers there are on here who come on and just do a crap. You can't really count. Like, in a way, like, fucking hell. It's not like, if someone sings a hook is different to someone just like coming, like fucking, like Phaser from N-Dubs. You know, the worst rap group of all time and the worst one in it. He used to come on and do about 4.5 bars at the end. He still gets writing credits. He's still got number ones under his belt. And he's like, how the hell did I do that? I am completely useless, even compared to these fucks. Look at it. Look. I mean, look. Just say that is. You're so out of touch with just sense. Like Little Dicky featuring Chris Brown. Oh, that's a proper collaborative effort. But you know who's also on that song? Ed Sheeran is on it for a bit. Kendall Jenner's on it, or is it Kylie Jenner? One of the fucking Jenners is on it. I think it's Kendall Jenner is on it, and who else is on it? DJ Khaled's on it, for fuck's sake. So that boosts it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Young Thug. Who remembers Young Thug's verse on Havana? They usually turn it off before he gets on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Ty Dolla $ign with Post Malone and 21 Savage. Now that's a proper collaboration because that's a producer and you know, and Cardi B's bit on fucking the Maroon 5 song. Like you could, like you're counting the things you're counting, and look how many songs are from The Greatest Showman as well. You know what I'm saying? Featuring French Montana. Anyone remember French Montana's verse from Tiptoe? You know? Do you remember it? It's so stupid. You're so fucking stupid. Look, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron had a hit last year. What the fuck? Well, I just do not pay attention. And look, you got 3 people on this Despacito remix. Oh god, no, that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, and then Drake just comes in and, you know, fucking Day at the Office, just a Day at the Office verse. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so many. Look at so many of these. I don't think it's not underrepresented. If you look at it, you know, yeah. What other features have you got in here? This is what they're like. The reason you're getting more male features because there's more male rappers, and because hip hop's the biggest music genre on fucking planet Earth. It is the new rock and roll, like Kanye West fucking told it. It is. So all of them, like people, especially people like Ariana Grande, are always going to get a rapper on their shit, and others. Taylor Swift, all of them do it because that's what's cool. Katy Perry, you know, they always get a fucking, you know, cringy 16 or 8 bar fucking verse. So look at this. Last year that number was 13. So there's 35 hits of female acts on their own in 2008. Yeah, and there's 13 of female acts on their own. Well, it's because they haven't enough material to do a full song, so they got to get a rapper on it. It's called crossover. Do you understand these things? At the same time, the number of songs credited with both female and male acts has risen from 10 to 25. Right? So songs by a man and a woman have replaced many of those that were just credited to a single female act a decade ago. It's because hip hop's huge and there's more male rappers. It's a fact. There's a great interview of Ice-T when he's talking about why he doesn't like female rappers, because he's like it's such a turn off. He's going, and he does this impression. He's like, "Yo, Ice, you want to hear my 16? Yo, Ice, you want to check my flow?" And he's like, "No, bitch." You know, it's just not attractive. You know, some girls can pull it off, but you know, Rod Digger was a well good rapper, but like, my God, would you want to take her home to mother with that voice? Yo, dog! I don't know about all that, mate. So meanwhile, men are also collaborating more with other men, hence the steep rise. Well, it's the men's fault for collaborating with men, isn't it? Men collaborating with other men to talk about man things? What the fuck? Oh, it's the men's fault for collaborating with more. Well, they've collaborated with more men. Men are hanging out with men. Well, how bloody dare they? They should be hanging out with women and me tooing the shit out of them. Like any good rock star would. Like, what is this? This fucking nonsense. Shut up. It's just I don't know. It's just an anomaly. It just, I don't know. It just changes, doesn't it? Why is this happening? There's always been gender imbalance in pop music. Just think about the genders of the biggest stars of the past 60 years. I don't know. Well, what do you want to say about that? The fact that some of the most talented musicians have been men, like Prince, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and so forth, have all been men. Whoa. Like I said, rock music's huge, and rock music's like dominated by men, but other genres are dominated by there's more women in R&B than there is dudes, for sure. Like I love R&B, and I could go through all my collection of stuff from, from the 90s through to now, and it's majority women. It's majority female artists. I can name shitloads of female artists. I can name more female R&B artists, good ones, than male ones, for sure. Like off the top of the dome, definitely like Aaliyah, Mary J. Blige, Tinashe. Yeah, I said it. Just keeping up with current events, alright, motherfucker. Jewel, Michelle A. Sounds like Mickey Mouse. Good God, come on, man. It's getting ridiculous. Part of the reason collaborations are now more common is because it's a good way for one act to get exposure with fans of another. I'm glad you've acknowledged it, especially in the streaming age when it's harder to break through. Often the other artists will be from a different genre. Yes, it's called crossover, and these days the charts are dominated by dance and rap, which are both overwhelmingly male. Dance and rap. Well, no, look, rap is dominated by men because, as I said, it's an aggressive art form at the end of the day, like to rap. So look at the expense of traditional pop singer-songwriters and girl groups. Oh, well, we don't want to exclude the girl groups. There's been so many great pop girl groups, haven't there? Oh, do you remember all the great pop girl groups? Like Girls Aloud? Weren't Girls Aloud a gift to the world of music? And the Spice Girls. I know everyone's got a boner for the Spice Girls because everyone's nostalgic nowadays because their life fucking sucks and they want it to be the 90s again. But the Spice Girls were shit. As far as I'm concerned, I thought they were shit when I was a kid, and I think they're shit now. I have never liked the Spice Girls, and I'm not going to pretend to, because they're treated like fucking royalty these days. I think Girls Aloud are absolute wankers. Well, I could go on about how many wanky girl groups there's been of that I just shit on, and boy bands too. I'm a man. I don't like that kind of shit, and neither should I. Whereas girls can like it too. And anyway, girls have loved like men, like, all right. The reason like Elvis and shit was, going back to the other point about how men have dominated it for years, it's because girls, like, knickers got wet to that shit. Like, girls throwing panties at Elvis and Tom Jones, they fucking loved it. But they didn't want to see other girls. They didn't relate. They wanted rock and roll. Rock and roll. The term comes from sex. It was slang for sex. That's like making up a genre now called boom boom, or fucking bang your back doors in. Imagine if that was the saying of the day. Instead of rock and roll, it's going, I'm going to smash your pasty. Imagine that is what rock and roll was called instead. Smash your pasty. Imagine that. The Smash Your Pasty charts. The biggest Smash Your Pasty artist on planet Earth, Mr. Elvis Presley. Like, crazy. And little girls back in the day, when they're all swooning over Elvis, they don't want to be swooning over some women, because girls hate other girls. It just doesn't work. So, dance music dominated by men. That's because it's producers. And I tell you what, I did a music production course, and it was an absolute sauce fest. I mean, it was packed full of sausage. Whereas, like, the singing courses, packed full of girls. That's the way it is. Girls are fucking ain't stupid. Girls don't want to be stuck in a dirty, sweaty studio with a bunch of boys going, sick beat, bruv. Like, girls have got better things to do than sit in a dark room and be like this all day and just going, I'm just going to re-loop that loop. Let me just side chain that compressor. Let me run that through an effects bus right now. I'm going to put some slap on that fucking vocal. Like, girls are no, let me sing and be a star. Like, come on, man. We're the dickheads who are going to sit in the studio, balls deep in dudes, going, I don't know why I don't meet any women in this dark dungeon staring at this screen. I have no idea why I haven't got laid recently. I just spend 16 hours in the studio and fucking haven't absorbed any vitamin D in months. Just been sucking anyway. So shut up. In rap, Cardi B may have broken the glass ceiling. Shut up about the glass ceiling, you tit. But she is still far outnumbered by the likes of Drake, Post Malone, Macklemore. Is Macklemore in the conversation anymore? No. Shut up. No one cares about Macklemore no more. Like, yeah. What do you want from me, motherfucker? Women get molded into something we don't want to be. Singer Mabel, who had a hit last year with Fine Line, probably featuring a man, and is now in the charts on her own with Don't Call Me Up, says she is very aware of the fact that there's a long way to go. From when? Think about who the two of the biggest artists on planet Earth right now. The biggest sellers. Who are the biggest sellers? In fact, let's get the maths up. Biggest selling artists of the last decade. Think about who are the biggest artists on planet Earth, right, in terms of sales. Here you go. Adele, Taylor Swift. So from 2010 to 2018. I knew it was. I knew Adele and Taylor Swift were top. Adele, Taylor Swift. Eminem. Jesus, Eminem is still doing numbers like that? More than Drake? I mean, if you listen to the past few Eminem albums, the past few Drake albums, it doesn't seem right, does it? But yeah, Eminem, Justin Bieber, Drake, Lady Antebellum, I don't know who that is, Lady Gaga. Okay, there you go. Like, biggest, and Amy Winehouse would be in the top 3 if she was still alive, for sure. And Adele probably wouldn't be top because she kind of replaced her. But like, I don't know what this gap is you're talking about, because the women are fucking killing it, like Taylor Swift and Adele, artists who don't need to collaborate with anyone. Do you know? Even Ed Sheeran's not in that top. I figured Ed Sheeran, but like you think about the biggest artist, and you know who had the biggest single of last year? Well, Calvin Harris and Dua Lipa. Well, that's got a go on it. Shotgun Jaws Resurrect. Oh God. Ariana Grande. All right, there's a lot of dudes in the top 10, but so what? It's like, what do you think it is? As women, we get molded into something that we don't necessarily want to be, whereas as a boy, I think you're encouraged to just sort of figure it out and do whatever you want to do. I think it's just about encouraging the younger generations to have fun with it. Soul superstar John Legend said, "That's surprising when you have people like Adele, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, women who I think of as the biggest things in music right now." Which they are. But I guess if you count those DJs, it's a little different because the voices people are hearing are women, even though it's the DJs. Exactly. They're the women. Oh, God. It's like, just talk about collaborations. All music's a collaboration. If you want to get real deep on it, you look at who writes most of the fucking songs and produces it. It's all fucking men. It's like producing. There's a ridiculous amount of men in producing. It's like I said, girls ain't stupid. Girls don't want to sit in a studio in a dark room listening to the same beat loop for 4 hours on going, oh yeah, that's fucking sick, bro. Like, I'm the kind of dickhead that did that. Like, I still make beats now, but not like I used to, because it's like, I just prefer to do this or go outside. Bloody go outside. I mean, I can just do this for a few hours, chat shit, and I can go outside later. You know, instead of being stuck in the fucking studio until your eyeballs are bleeding. The gatekeepers must change. Sarah Stennett, who runs First Access Entertainment, says she isn't surprised by the figures and think there's a lot down to the gatekeepers, the people who decide what gets promoted on streaming platforms, on the radio and at festivals. They aren't sexist as individuals, but there is a systemic problem, she believes. Everything that happens in a boardroom, you're crazy, you're on your period. Collaborations are healthy as long as it's an equal partnership and women aren't always relegated to being the featured artist. What do you mean always relegated to being the featured artist? If it's not their fucking song on their fucking album, then they're the featured artist, you tit. This woman works in the... what are you talking about? What do you think is Cardi B's album? She releases the single of her album. Oh, but there's a dude and it goes, no, it's going to be featuring you. I say, well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? It's my bloody song, you idiot. Like, they keep going about collaborations to reach new fans. Yes. Culture vulturing is another word for it as well. Like, come off it. Katy Perry's falling off, and what she do gets the Migos in a song, and it's cringy as fuck. When the Migos are popping. Like, they, you know, in their mind saying, oh, we're going to do some crossover shit, we might reach new fans. But nah, that was more beneficial for her than it was for them, I would argue. Definitely. Because Katy Perry's fallen off. Migos are hot. And they were super hot when they did that collaboration. They didn't fucking need her. Not at all. It's the other way round. So, I mean, you talk about female solo acts. It's just, I don't know. But look at all the success. I don't know whether this is just more of this nonsense. But look, if you look at the success rate, right, of the fucking hit machine that is the Brit School in the UK, right, where all the biggest artists have come from, the Brit School. It's just a fucking factory, right? And you look at all the success stories of the past 10, 15, 20 years. You talk about Adele, Amy Winehouse, fucking Duffy. Yeah, she has to go on the list. Like, there's just a fucking even Leona Lewis went to the Brit School. Like, you're talking about a fucking avalanche of females coming out of there, and who are the dudes that have come out of the Brit School? Like, it's pretty much, I think it's like, who are those, that shit rap group, Rizzle Kicks. I can't think of any other dudes that come out of Brit School. It was female dominated. I can't think of anyone. Like, it's just nonsense. It's just an equal playing field. I don't know. And like, the statistics they're using is because there's more men collaborating with men, or just because of hip hop. and because of shitty dance tunes that are generally produced by men. So what do you want? What do you want the girls to do? Become producers? All right, girls, go out and just. All right, girls, just go out and produce fucking dance hits. Then stop singing. Like, this is just the way they manipulate this sort of stuff and try to tell you that apparently there's a gender gap in the music industry now. Like, in production there is, but girls ain't interested in that sort of bullshit. I told you. Like, when I did a music production course, there was nothing that fully encouraged men. It wasn't like you went in there and there was just stripper poles and women just rubbing their tits in your face. And it's like, well, I don't think this is for the ladies. There's nothing preventing girls to do that course and do that. Same way there's nothing to prevent men from doing singing courses, but they're predominantly done, like, there's predominantly women. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you took rap away, there'd be fucking, it would be just, you took rap away, it would be predominantly female. Like, if you think of all the male singers, we got George Ezra and Ed Sheeran, and they're fucking shit. If you look at all the girls that are smashing it, there's kind of more. You know, you got George Ezra, can't count Drake because he's a rapper, Ed Sheeran. Who else you got, really? Chris Brown. Yeah, there's not a lot of male solo singer-songwriters as they're going, you know, the singer-songwriter. You know, the classic singer-songwriter. That's what we want. We want Janis Joplin. How old is this fucking dude? Yeah, I mean, as far as male solo singers, alright, Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake, there's not a lot. There's like, I swear there's way more girls. But anyway, there's some more silly toss from the BBC. I can't be bothered to read more of it. It's just like, it's just I'm done. Anyway, let's see what else the BBC want to say about life.